So I visited 4 new robot companies, new to me. I mean, not new to me, but, like, it was the first time that I actually have gone out and spent time with these 4 different robot companies that are all building humanoids, various degrees of progress. Some of them are very early stage, some of them are really late stage. I won't talk about any of the early stage companies that I met with, but I did meet with one late stage. I've always kinda considered them a top 4 company in this space, and I don't think I've ever really given them the amount of credit that I think they now deserve, because I thought they were weird. I didn't buy into the unconventional architecture of their humanoid platform. There are a handful of systemic, like, issues that one would believe about having a platform that's built the way that theirs is, that most people in the robotics world think are unsolvable. And I spent nearly half a day with the founder CEO, Bernd, at 1X. This was yesterday. And I was not a believer for those reasons. You know what? A couple takeaways. One, I have kind of a shared Norwegian heritage with Bernd and 1X. So there's a small part of me that would like to see them be one of the winners.
You have a Norwegian heritage? Did you know that yesterday was Leif Erikson Day? You were visiting?
I thought you were Italian, Chris.
3 quarters, 1 quarter Norwegian. So,
Go Vikings.
yes, yes.
I'm Swedish.
Uh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You should have went with me. You would have been invited then.
This is the robot that we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's the robot historically a lot of us have laughed at. We're like, "Is it a guy in a suit? Is this thing for real?" No, the real issue with 1X historically is that it's a tendon-driven system, and what that means is rather than having a normal, like, exoskeleton or endoskeleton that's like a hard shell, which is every other humanoid robot in the world, this is a humanoid. I can't get into details because I'm obviously under NDA, but it's a soft shell, very soft shell system that is extremely lightweight.
Okay, so it's not just it looks like it's just fabric over a hard shell. That's not the case?
No, that is not the case. That is not the case. The entire robot, believe it or not, operates off of a tendon drive. So think like lots and lots of like strings or wires, like a pulley system that operates everything, the legs, the feet, the arms, the elbows, the hands. It's like the perpetual motion machine of
Is it like a marionette?
Yes, that's
Like an
exactly the
internal
point.
marionette system?
It's like a
Exa
human in that we have tendons that when you want to move your finger, it's actually a muscle down here that's doing it.
The issue with that, Dave, is that a human's tendons are always breaking down. Every single time that you use a tendon, it's fraying a little bit and breaking down, but they're inside of a fluid that, because we have organic material, allows our tendons to rebuild themselves and repair themselves over and over again. Now, what we're seeing in robotics is that there's a massive movement right now towards tendon-based hands, okay? So a lot of the next gen bot platforms are going to be using tendon-based hands.
Yeah, that makes sense because seems like it'd be really hard to develop actuators that are that small, for all the digits.
Jordan, it's extremely difficult to get the actuation in the hand itself, and by moving the actuation into the forearm, it gives you the ability to move a lot of that weight closer to the body of the robot, which is better for numerous reasons, right? That's how we operate, like, our tendons go through to the hands, right? But the industry believes that they've solved enough of those problems to do it with the hand. 1X and Burn 1X, who's been working on this problem for 10 years, he's the mad scientist of tendon research for robotics. He believes that he has solved the problem to such a degree that they could have a viable, commercially scalable bot based on a full tendon system. And why that would be important is that it enables them to build a bot that is meaningfully lighter and meaningfully safer to be around humans, not in 5 years, but right now. So if you believe that this company 1X has actually achieved what they're saying they have achieved, then they will be the first robot company to actually push a lot of bots out into the world, primarily homes probably at first, because it is safe to be around humans. Now, I'll just say this. I have a few robot companies I'm invested in, and I like each of them for different reasons. I think that Burnt and 1X have a really interesting approach to the market. I feel that it is one worthy of watching really closely. I saw the bot yesterday up close from 2 inches away, engaging with me, doing things that were quite honestly very impressive.
So where are they with fundraising? Are they doing any rounds anytime soon, or are they done with fundraising?
I'll just say what's been publicly already kind of rumored and out there in the public space, that they're publicly rumored to be raising, believe it or not, at a $9 billion pre-money valuation. I believe that they're going to be somewhat successful.
Do you know how much they're trying to raise?
The rumor was $1 billion at a $9 billion pre-money valuation.
So a quarter of the price of Figure AI.
A quarter of Figure AI. It's a big number for a company that was not being paid attention to, but I think that the industry has misjudged 1X based on what I saw and learned yesterday. But you have got to give 1X extraordinary credit based on what I saw yesterday. I'll also walk away saying this. I really like their CEO and founder, Burnt. I think to me, he felt like he's a mad scientist. That's for sure. It's a bit odd to have that guy also being the CEO of the company, but also kind of cool. It's very similar to kind of like, Nick is the co-founder and not the CEO, but heavily and aggressively involved with running Apptronic, and he's kind of the mad scientist down at Apptronic. So it's a similar situation of like these roboticists OGs from 10 years ago working on problems before anybody cared about humanoids. I felt he was like a trustworthy guy, Burnt, and I really enjoyed the time I spent. I really appreciate them bringing me in with Scott Walter, who I like to joke around as my personal roboticist who travels with me and helps explain the technical side of what we're seeing and hearing and reading. He's the guy that gets to see under the hood, and I'm in the meeting usually just listening, and he's kind of interpreting what we're being told for me. But he was there as well. He got to teleoperate the 1X unit, and he was pretty impressed. I was just super impressed. Some of the things his robot did for me. And by the way, like, this is like the old version. It wasn't even like the next gen secret version. I didn't get to see any of that. I'm super hyped to see what 1X puts out next. But I do think I have a major change in my thesis for home robotics. For a long time, I've been saying that we are years and years out from seeing a bot in the home for very good reasons. Safety. You just cannot put any of the current gen or even of the next gen bots that I'm aware of into the home right now for safety reasons. They're too heavy. We don't have the safety mechanisms in place to have them operating side by side with humans, except for 1X. 1X, because it's a tendon-driven system and it's a soft bot, meaningfully lighter, it's the one bot that has the architecture that they could be in the home in 2026, legitimately in the home. Now, are they ready to be doing all the stuff in the home? Of course not. So this is a company that when they get into the home will be a blend of autonomy and teleoperation. Listen, that's just where we are in the cycle. We still have a tremendous amount of training data that each of these companies needs to improve the foundational models to have these bots doing all the edge case scenarios and to be doing them at a higher degree of precision and a higher level of speed. The only way that we get there is to increase the ability of the neural network models on these bots. And they need hundreds of thousands of training hours doing massive amounts of diverse tasks. So there's a bit of an arms race to produce robots and get the robots out into the real world in whatever capacity you can, whether it's in a robot park that you control, or whether it's in facilities or your own facilities, or whether it's in controlled situations in people's homes, and you want to collect that training data over and over and over again. Once you collect enough of it, the bots are going to get better. And in a couple years, 2 or 3 years, I think we're going to see the bots that we've all been dreaming of, which are the ones that can actually do things at human speed at a similar degree of precision to humans. Maybe not perfect, okay, but getting wildly close to where like that dream of the robot is actually coming true in the next few years. So keep an eye on 1X. They're a company that deserves a lot more attention in this space.